destiny.
Every time it's on everything, the life you chasing, I'm cheddaring. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gon' stop till I rest in peace and they put so hard on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual van where my strength get pumped from. So let's go back to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, no hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want to hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is after you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as they is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game. So speed like the A train. The thing that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you want to get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that I would chase them.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it up, but I won't lose hope. Cause I'm still starting my destiny. I'm still starting my destiny.
Good afternoon. Oh, my mic came out. Good afternoon. 96.com. What up, Facebook? How are y'all doing? YouTube. This is Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. If you have not already, please head over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I go live, which is every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or every time I upload a video or a short, which I do at random. Also, check out, we've started season 3 of the Tea Time with Tara show, where I interview guests and ask them what they need along the way of their journey to stalking their destiny. So head over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny. You don't want to miss the inspiration there. And if you miss a show, you can catch it there as well. Again, I am Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. This is Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. How are y'all doing today? Go ahead for me and get in the chat box, get in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You just really never know where somebody's tuning in from. I'm coming to you guys live from the Midwest. So let me know where you're tuning in from. And there's been some climate changes going on. So let me know also how you handling that, because some people are not taking this well, but we'll be back up in temperatures later this week as far as I'm aware. So let me know, where are you tuning in from? Did you bring your Bibles with you today, y'all? Did you bring your journals? Do you have your pens, paper? Do you have your favorite drink? I do have my cup of tea with me. I almost forgot to make it, if we're being honest. I almost forgot to make it, but I grabbed it. And y'all know my tea is Zill Sweet Flavored Tea, which is my company. So I have that. I hope y'all are ready for a great show. Again, get in the comments to let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing with this weather. I think it's Parker that I see. Hey, Parker, for the last name, for in Atlanta. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in today. But yes, get in the chat, get in the comments, y'all. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if it's your first time tuning into the show or not. Because I want to know what people think about it. I want you all to be able to share what you think about the show. Okay, so let's go ahead into our affirmations for the week. I encourage you to do your affirmations daily. If you cannot do them daily, then at least set your intentions weekly for what kind of week you want to have. And I actually looked at some of my published books and things like that to see, did I publish the affirmations properly here on the show? So I have been saying them backwards, but that's okay. It doesn't matter what order you say them in. It just matters that you affirm yourself either for your week, every week, or daily or monthly, whatever you want to do or subscribe to for your own life. So the affirmations are sponsored, they could be sponsored by you. They could be sponsored by you, but you haven't hit me up yet. You haven't emailed me yet. You haven't reached out in the comments yet. So we love sponsors here at the Tea Time with Tara show. Well, Tea Time with Tara live and on air. But our affirmations for this week are sponsored by Tea Time Enterprises LLC. The world needs all you have to offer. Okay. And so our affirmations for this week are I am, I have, I will. And then we declare what kind of day today is going to be. So get in the comments, get in the chat, and let me know, what are you affirming for yourself today, this week? We're at the start of a new month as well. We're not at the start of it, but we're in a new month at the beginning still. So what are you declaring for the rest of this month? What are you affirming for your life? I am, I have, I will. And what kind of day are you declaring you're going to have? Okay. Now, I forgot to write my affirmations this morning. I was working on some other stuff, but I'm going to tell you this much. I am ready. Okay. We're having a women's conference this weekend at my church, the Advancing Church in St. Louis, Missouri. And I'll be a vendor there, but I'm also serving there. I'm also helping and supporting the team of volunteers there. And so I am ready. I am ready. I'm prepared for it. I am looking forward to it. Okay. I hope this encourages you guys too. I have everything I need, although I don't have everything I want. Okay. I have everything I need, although I may not have everything that I want. Okay. I will. I will have a good week for the third week in a row. Now, if y'all been following this show, weeks have been tough for me. Life has been lifing, as they say, but there's definitely been obstacles to overcome. And so I will have a good week for the third week in a row. I'm just declaring it. I'm affirming it. And I believe that's what it's going to be. Nothing has changed. Circumstances in life have not changed, but I did. Okay. And so today will be a easy breezy, beautiful cover girl type of day. Why? Because that's how I feel. That's how I feel internally. So what are your affirmations? What are you declaring for yourself? Where are you in your life? Remember that if you have a negative affirmation, that you want to acknowledge the negative, but change it to what you wish to feel. You might say, I am tired, but I got enough energy to do X, Y, and Z. I might be this, but be sure to change your negatives into a positive when affirming yourself, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to focus yourself in on the negative so much. You want to acknowledge the negative, because that has to do with being valid in your feelings and being able to do something about it. But you don't want to sit there. So we don't want to turn a moment into a monument, as one of my old pastors used to say, or turn a molehill into a mountain. We don't want to do that. So set your affirmations for this week. Comment them below and let me know what yours are. What are you affirming? Hit the chat box or the comments and let me know. Hey, Sheila. She said, hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. Cold here in Germany, too. Okay. Well, winter's my favorite season. So I'm looking forward to the weather changes, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but it's the most wonderful time of the year. Not because of commercial economics. It's the most wonderful time of year just because, for me, it's the most beautiful time of year, fall transition into the winter season. And then the winter snow as well is the best for me. So hi, Sheila. I think I missed you last week. I don't think I knew if you were on or not last week, but hey, girl, hey, and everybody in your office, hey, y'all. Okay, so our food for thought quote, you guys, for today. Let me tell y'all something. I winged my show last week. I totally just did it off the top of my head. And guess what we're doing today? We're doing the show. Like, I have notes. I have notes. However, I've done this show with you all with books, with my books and things that I have. And so right now I'm not doing them with books. God told me to be myself for the month of November, meaning that I know how to teach. And so how many of you know that the Lord will have you to use your own gifts for your purpose that He has you doing? He will reaffirm you, okay, and reintroduce you to yourself too, and say, hey, you got this. You make yourself nervous when you try to overly prepare for things. You don't have to do that. You already have the gifts in you. You already have the talents. And sometimes God has to remind us that we have those things in us, okay? So our food for thought quote for the day is brought to you by Stalk Your Destiny. Again, this is another sponsorship spot or slot on the show. And we are looking for sponsors. So if you're interested in sponsoring the show, if you love what we do here at Tea Time with Tara, I'll give you that information at the end, but please reach out to me the best way you know how. Otherwise, wait for the information at the end, which is my email address as well. So, Stalk Your Destiny. We believe that everything you want to become, you already are. And our food for thought quote is brought to you by Stalk Your Destiny. So, here's the quote, y'all. This is not one of my quotes. It says, if you don't define yourself for yourself, you'll be crushed into other people's fantasies of you and eaten alive. That's Audre Lorde. Okay? If you don't define yourself for yourself, you'll be crushed into other people's fantasies of you and eaten alive. Okay? Now, here with this food for thought quote, what I want to do is this basically sets the precedence for the entire show today. Because our business topic today is New Year, New You, how? That's our business topic. And so with this food for thought quote, the thing about it is, how do you call yourself? What do you respond to? What do you call yourself? Okay. And so when defining yourself for yourself, what I hear most people do is define their titles. They say, well, I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a good dude, is what some men would say. Like, how do you define yourself? I'm a good dude. And it's like, okay, how? How are you a good man? Or women just say, I'm bad, I'm a brick house or whatever. Like, okay, but what else? What else about you? Like, how do you identify? And I'm not talking about your gender, and I am not talking about sexual orientation. I'm talking about you, the human being. What kind of person are you? And this comes down to like making decisions, right? If you don't define yourself for yourself, then that peer pressure will push you right along where other people want you to be. And most people become people pleasers, even in their families and then in their friend groups or at the office. Okay, you're the one that's like, oh, Suzanne, just use that name as an example. Susan or Suzanne, she's just the best. She'll do anything I ask her to do. And you're like, nobody even cared to ask me if I was going to do it. But you do it anyway, right? And so now because you didn't divide, you don't know if that's you. Does this go against who I am, or not? Because you haven't defined that for yourself, you're going to get strung along, or I don't know if it's stringed along, y'all, stringed or strung along. But they're going to string you along. We'll say that. They're going to be able to string you along and pull you into whatever it is that they want you to do because you're a yes person. Like, oh, can you do this? Mike, can you do that? And yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Even in relationships, okay? Like, how we relate to one another heavily exposes who we are. It exposes like what kind of person you are with how you relate to one another. And what I mean by that is it has to do with things that you like tolerate. Okay. Like, are you just really, I'm known for being real nonchalant. Believe it or not, y'all, I'm known for being very nonchalant. And at first I didn't even know it. I was like, I'm not nonchalant. Like, no, I'm not, but I really am. I don't care about a lot of things because I either accept for what they are or I understand my position and my role in it. Okay. So I've defined me. I know where I stand with people, places, and things. Be willing to define you so that others don't get to define who you are or what kind of person. They don't get to dictate that for you. Okay? So that's our food for thought quote. An Audre Lorde quote. If you don't define yourself for yourself, you'll be crushed into other people's fantasies of you and eaten alive. Take that with you this week. Think about that. Really, really dive into it. Like, am I being who I desire to be? Am I being who I say I am? You know, am I showing these things? Okay. Does my words line up with my actions? Okay. Take that with you this week. It's your food for thought. Okay, yum yum, eat it up. All right. Um, so let's go to our devotional time. Okay. Have y'all gotten y'all Earthly Branches devotional series books? Have y'all gone to stalkyourdestiny.com and gotten your books? I bet you haven't. Those are some great stocking stuffers, I would say. They're kind of big, but they can be great stocking stuffers or small holiday gifts. The Earthly Branch is a 12-book devotional series on my website, www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. 10 of those books are up, you guys. 10 of the 12 are available for you. I've taught it all this year. I will circle back around and teach them again from whatever angle God has me go from the next time around of teaching from that series. But today we're going to go to the book of James, chapter 1, and I want to read verse 22 through 24 for you today. Okay? And remember, this is all on topic to New Year, New You How, or defining yourself for yourself. Okay? Give me 1 second. I'm going to drink some of this tea. Oh, it's so good. I hope y'all have some tea or your favorite drink while you watch this show. I really do. So James chapter 1, verse 22 to 24. And it reads, do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like a man who looks at his face in a mirror and after looking at himself goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. I'm going to read that again, okay? Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like a man who looks at his face in a mirror and after looking at himself goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. Okay, y'all. Have you ever met a person that was so well read but so unlearned? Okay, that's kind of like what this reminds me of. It reminds me of the scholars who are fools. Like, oh, I read books all the time, but you don't know nothing. Why don't you don't know nothing? What are you doing? Like, you read it because it's cute? What are you doing? You're not digesting the information that you've been given. Okay. And in this capacity of, talking about identity and things like that, like new you, I'm getting in your business today. Okay. And maybe you're getting in mine a little bit today too. Okay. But when it comes to identifying yourself and you're like, oh, well, I read the word, but you don't know nothing. Okay. And I don't mean trivia, y'all. I'm a person who strongly dislikes trivia. Please don't ask me or invite me to any trivia game nights or whatever. Y'all can keep that. You can have it. I read for application and information. Okay. I read for logic and practicality. I'm not a person that reads to retain just to say that I know it. Because if there's nowhere to place the information, what am I holding it for? It needs purpose in my own life. Okay. That's not for everybody. But for me, please don't try to quiz me. Now, if you want me to teach what I read, I can teach it. Please don't quiz me though on what's this, what I don't know. I don't care that much to know. Okay. I don't. However, with this, it said, don't just read the word and then don't do it. And that doesn't mean like, oh, well, because you read something, you automatically need to do it when it comes to the Bible. What that means is meditate on that word, pray about it, don't turn away from it as if you never read it. Dive in, dive into it, okay? But furthermore, getting to the identity of things too, like, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? Because we have an identity that we give ourselves, like, oh, well, I think I'm this, I think I'm that, or whatever. And then we have an identity in Christ as well. Okay. And so when I was reading that and I was like, okay, do you know who you are or whatever? Like, I had spoke to someone recently. I went and spoke to someone, right? And when I came back from speaking to that person, I asked a friend of mine, I was just like, how do I look? How did I look? Okay. Because I had been in a place away from home almost, for a majority of the day. And so I was just like, how did I look? I didn't even check before I went to speak to someone. I just went and spoke. Okay. And so in doing that, my friend was like, you look fabulous. You look fabulous, And I'm like, why would I do that? Why would I even, because we have these insecurities about ourselves, because we have these insecurities when it comes to the scripture, we have our insecurities with applying the scripture. And both are important. Both are important because trusting the word of God and trusting yourself is two separate things. Okay. We have to nourish both of those things. Do you know who you are? And are you living the life that you desire to live or the life that God desires for you to live? Okay. So in here, it says we have to release insecurities. In my notes, it says we have to release our insecurities, because what was it about the moment of me going to be myself, be my confident self in my own body and in my skin? I was okay and well enough to go speak to someone, but afterwards, I didn't feel enough. Afterwards, I felt shy. Afterwards, and maybe I felt shy going up to this person for real, but still, we have to release insecurities. Okay. You got to know who you are. Like, if you go up to someone that, like a teacher or something, someone you look up to, right? If you go up to these people, or just somebody in your business or your company that's doing better than you, right? They are the higher ups. Go speak to them knowing what you have to offer. Go speak to them knowing the value of who you are, who God called you to be. Go in there. Stop living in what they know. Okay, stop living in what people know of you in the past and be who you are. And I think that trips us up sometimes, because like this man in the mirror thing, you know who you are in the mirror, but then when you get out of the mirror, you tripped up because you're changing. Let it be okay that you are changing, y'all. We shed skin every day. We lose hair every day, okay? But we get new every day. New hair follicles, new skin, okay? Our nails constantly grow. So stop living in what people know you to be and start living in who you are, who you're becoming, who God says you are. And just like I told the little babies at church yesterday, the young people, I should say, at church yesterday, the only way to really know more about God is to read his word, spend time with the Lord, okay? Get in it. So that way, the way to know yourself is to spend time with you, okay? We have to get to the point too, y'all, where we're not so codependent that we're not an independent person, that we forget that I am separate from this other human being. We've got to find a way to have a healthy balance of, I can acknowledge your existence, but I will also acknowledge my own existence and who God called me to be and what God called me to do while still seeing you. Okay. And my past won't define me, but my past will make you love me even more because of what I've overcome, because of who I have become or who I am becoming, going forward. Okay. And so no one can hold that over your head. Let me be clear about that. No one can hold who you were over your head now to who you are becoming. And you can change your mind any day, at any time, to be a better human being and do right by you and others. Anytime. Okay. So go back and read that. Like I told the young people yesterday at church too, read the word for yourself. So go back, read James chapter 1. The verses I read were 22 to 24. Okay. And think about that. Do you know who you are? And are you living in what people know of you? Or are you living in what God says of you? Where He's calling you? Okay. So really think about that. And also listen, it's okay to be confident. It's okay to be enough. It's okay to be shy and still courageous. Okay? It is okay to stand up and be the weird, crazy, goofy, beautiful being that you might be. Okay? It is okay to do that. All right, y'all. So if you want any of my Earthly Branches devotionals or any of my products, you can visit you can visit www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop, and you can get any of the Earthly Branches, the 12-book devotional series there. Those are 30-day interactive devotionals, y'all, one for each month. So 10 of the 12 are currently available, or you can check out any of my other books or products there. I have books and planners available for you all to work your faith, okay, increase your hope, and live in love, okay, and leadership. So visit www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop and order a book for you, or start getting those Christmas gifts together. Especially if you're on a budget and you want to give something that's life changing or transformational, go to www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop and check out my books and planners and give them to your family and friends, because it will only be a great gift. It'll only be a great gift. Only good things will come from those things. Okay. Um, and also, if you want to be a sponsor too, let's go into that now anyway. All right, y'all, listen. We've been on this show for about a year now. I need help. Okay. I need help with sponsorships. If you or anyone you know, okay, even if it's your employer, friend, whatever, family member, okay, if you love this show and you love what I do here with Business and Bible Basics on bfam109.com and YouTube at Stalk Your Destiny, we would love to have you sponsor an ad on the show. I would love to tell people about your company, your product, your service, um, or just shout out whatever it is you want, something positive that you want to share. Now, these sponsorships are monthly sponsorships, so you pay a one-time fee for the month, and then I have your ad run on each show, okay? Or you can be one of our larger sponsors and sponsor the year for the show. We've been on for 1 year, but Tea Time with Tara has been in existence since 2016, y'all. So we would love to share who you are, what you wanted to promote to the world. We would love to do that for you on your behalf on this platform. And we would also love to grow the platform so that we can impact more lives. Okay. So sponsorships help out with purchasing ad space so that the show can reach more people online, on the online space in terms of YouTube and things like that. It can reach more people, it can change more lives and impact more lives to business and Bible basics. And faith, hope, love, and leadership. And who doesn't need those things? More faith, more hope, more love, and better leadership. Okay. So send me an email to become a sponsor at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. That's TEATIMEWITHTARAH@gmail.com. And I can send you information on our sponsorship packages, or you can send me your sponsorship offer. I would love to hear either, or I would love to hear your offer, or and give you the information on how to be a sponsor with us as well. Now, if you say, okay, well, Tara, I love the show. I don't necessarily want to be a sponsor, but I would love to support. Okay, well, there are ways for you to do that as well. You can donate via Cash App at $Stalk Your Destiny. at Venmo at Stalk Your Destiny, or you can visit paypal.me/Stalk Your Destiny. Again, that's Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, all at Stalk Your Destiny if you want to make a donation. Donations of any amount are welcome, large or small. If you just say, I don't want to be a sponsor necessarily, but I definitely want to support what you have going on, I love showing up here, then we would love that too. And so donations can be sent via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal at Stalk Your Destiny. Okay. So connect with me. Also, if you just want to connect with me, you just want to send me an email, share your story or whatever it is you can't say in the chat, positively, y'all, and professionally. Please don't send me no weird stuff. But feel free to email me if you just want to, share your story, or if any of these shows are inspiring you or motivating you forward. Please feel free to email me at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. I would love to hear how this show is impacting, well, me and this show is impacting your life positively. I would love to hear about that. Okay, so send me an email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna drink a little more of this tea because I'm getting stuffy. All right. So we're going to go into our business topic of the week, which is New Year, New You, how? Okay. And I did mention that earlier. This whole show today is just about your identity. I don't know who needs to know, you need to know who you are. You need to stand up in who you are. This is not about beating you down. This is about encouraging you forward. This is about lifting you up. Okay. Because if you want the beat down, I can beat you down, but what would that do? Who would that help or benefit? Certainly not me, and I don't think that it would help or benefit you in any type of way either. So, New Year, New You, y'all. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and I'm gonna keep saying that because Home Alone is one of my favorite holiday movies. So, that song is on repeat in my head. So it's the most wonderful time of the year. And I hope that you're receiving that too. Even if life is not great right now, I hope that you're still receiving the good that is taking place. Okay. So when I say New Year, New You, how? A lot of people claim New Year, New Me, at the start of the new year or at the start of a new birth year. Okay. They want to claim that it's a new year and a new them, but what exactly are you doing to be new? Okay. And is it surface stuff? Y'all, I'm so done with surface. I'm so done with surface. And I used to say this all the time. I used to just say, like, I don't swim in shallow water. I'm in the deep. Come get wet with me. Right? Because when you go into the shallow, that's fine. That is enough. Okay. But we just need to get into the deep waters of things. Okay. You need to be fully covered in it, fully into, like, we're not tiptoeing into things. Okay. And so what about you is going to be new? Because if you change the things on the surface and the whole body is not changed internally, well, then what? What are you going to do? Okay. So what's going to be new about you? Why are we even saying new year, new me? Okay, let me tell you what my hope is. Okay. My hope is new year, you can't find me. Unless you're connected to me already. Unless you're connected to me on social media and things like that, you won't be able to find me. Why do I say that? I say that because in shedding who we used to be and allowing God to take layers off of things, God will change you and you'll wake up one day a whole new person, and you might not recognize yourself, but you might see all the beauty and all the good because you did the work. Okay. And thank you to my DJ for preferencing me on this, because he was giving me inspiration and encouragement prior to the show. Shout out to DC at B Fam. Didn't even know this was. I don't know if he knew this is what I was talking about today. But I just stumbled all over that. I don't even know if he knew this was what I was talking about today. Okay. But what about you is going to be new? And I know the Bible, this is business and Bible basics, y'all. So even in business right now, I'm talking about what is new about your business. Like for someone to be someone who has been in my company for 10 years now, okay, we're going to 11 now, but it's shifting, right? It's shifting. And we should be shifting in life right now. So if there's a new year, new you in business, what is shifting about your company? Because sure, you can change the logo, but what are you going to change about the integrity of the company? What about the systems are you going to change in your company? And y'all, this don't just apply to business. For those of us who are not business owners, well, those of you who are not business owners, this doesn't just apply to business, but in your personal life as well. You can change the clothes you wear. You can change your hair, like, oh, I'm so new, or whatever. You can change your glasses. You can change whatever you want to change on the outside. What systematically on the inside is being changed? What are you doing to become a better human being? Okay? What's new about you? And why should we care? I just told y'all I don't care about a lot of stuff. So new year, new you, go do you. I could care less. Okay? Now, why do I say that? I don't say that to be insensitive. I say that because when you scratch the surface of things, you find it's not all good. And it's not what they presented it to be when you scratch the surface. So I want to be able, for those of you listening in, tuning in and watching, I want to walk into a new year with you guys where if it's new with you, it's to be celebrated because it is full body new. Okay. New from the inside out. Like I changed my mind. I took the pivot and the shift that God was giving me and I flowed with it. Okay. So what is your plan or strategy to become this new person? Like everybody's probably gearing up for vision board parties, which if you can hear in my voice, I don't really care for. And I'm going to say that because it's a real thing. I don't really care for vision board parties, although those are fun for a lot of people. Okay. They are helpful to a lot of people that go. Okay. Why don't I like vision board parties? Because it's surface. Okay. Yes, you should have a vision for your life. Yes, you should write the vision and make it plain. Yes, having pictures of things in your face do help you to focus in on those things. However, if there's no action behind those things and no real reason why, okay? So there's depth and layers to it. I don't want the surface anything. What is your plan? What is your strategy here? What do you hope to gain with this? And are you changing because it's really who you are and who you're becoming? Or are you changing because that's how you're going to manipulate your next win? Think about that. I'm in y'all business today. I don't care. I do not care. I'm scratching surfaces, okay? Who are you? As a life coach, I ask my clients this all the time. That's the first question I asked anybody to sit down with me. Who are you? And people would get mad at me, y'all. If you could believe that, people would get mad at me for asking them, who are you? Who are you? Well, I do this, I do this, I do that. I'm this, I'm that. And I'll be like, okay, all of that sounds good. Now, let's push all that to the side. Who are you? What kind of person are you? How do you call yourself? Okay? Not what are your titles and accolades. I know that it's hard to separate from those things, but what you've achieved and what you do is not who you are. So, like Audre Lorde said, Define yourself for yourself. Who are you? Who are you? And the way that I used to piss my clients off was I would tell them that I would tell them to give me a 2-sentence scenario. And I hope you guys do this exercise for yourself as well. This is the free coaching because I don't do life coaching anymore. So this is the free coaching here. This exercise. Give me a 2-sentence scenario where you introduce yourself. I need it to be relatable, okay, and informational, okay? And then at the end, I want you to tell me what your name is, okay? So that's what I used to do to my clients. I used to have to walk them through that, and then they would bring me something that sounded nice, and I would be like, no, write it again. Write it again. Why? Because we got to get to the core of who we are. When it's just you, when you alone have to stand up and say, y'all know, for example, God had me go to Wells Fargo. I had never been inside of Wells Fargo before. And God was like, go in there. Go in there. And go in there and, go in there and pitch your course, right? Go to Wells Fargo, pitch your course, right? So I had to know who I was because I'm like, what the heck am I about to do? And why am I doing this? And y'all, and the day was not pretty, okay? Like, you got to know who you are when things go left, okay? So I went there, but God sent someone to go with me too. Thank God for good friends. A friend was just like, I want to go with you. I want to do this with you. Showed up and went with me, okay? I had to know who I was and why I was walking into this building. Because if not, I would look stupid. I would look so silly going into a Wells Fargo financial advisors, not knowing what I was looking for, who I was looking for, why I was there. I would have looked silly if I didn't know what I had to offer from the inside out. Not just the course. It wasn't about the course. It was about the confidence and dependence on God that no matter what takes place here, because I don't know what to expect. So no matter what takes place here, I'm walking with you, God. Like, I'm going to be confident. I'm confident. Okay? I'm going to be strong and courageous because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm a little bit afraid here. So I'm going to walk in, okay? So you have to have it. And then even when I said it went left that day, okay? Sometimes following God, you got to know who you are and whose you are. Because that day did not end the way I expected it to go. Okay? I'm thinking, okay, God, I'm trusting you. I'm obeying you. I'm walking into this Wells Fargo, and I'm going to come out here with a contract deal. No, Wells Fargo stopped me in my tracks. Security was like, do you know anybody? Do you know who you're coming to see? I was like, no, absolutely not. And he was like, no, absolutely not. You won't get in this building. Okay. Then guess what? I had to know who I was and whose I was and started reaching out to contacts and saying, hey, I need to get into Wells Fargo. Who do you know? Now, did anybody give me somebody that they knew? No. No one knew a manager that I could go in and speak to, or at least didn't give me the information, right? So I had to know who I was because that's egg pie in my face. Not only that, I'm walking on by faith, stepping in and going into this building like I have this course to offer. This training program will, change the morale of your company and all these different things, okay? All these different benefits. Only for my car to not work when I leave there. For my car to literally not start up and tell me, it said pull over and turn the car off. That's the message that my car gave me. Pull over now. Turn the vehicle off. Okay? So when things go left in your life, do you know who you are? Are you standing faithful enough in who you are, in the character, in the integrity, in the courage it takes, in the hope, in the faith, in the love, okay, of what you do, of who you belong to, okay, who it is you belong to, okay, and who God created you to be? Can you navigate those things? Is what I want to know. Can you navigate life's changes, okay? Because that was me going after a goal of mine. That was me going after something I really wanted to achieve. And guess what? It never happened so far. So far, it never happens. I've never done leadership with Wells Fargo in terms of training their employees. But if you're watching, I would love to. If you're listening in, Wells Fargo, I would love to connect with the manager and come in and train your employees on leadership. Okay. And morale, boost morale. Okay. So it hasn't happened yet. But guess what? Even me knowing who I am now, I can say that on this platform. I can stand in that. Okay, because I'm not doing it to impress anybody. I'm doing it because I trust what God said about me. I'm doing it because I embody who He says I am. And that's not about being pretty. That's not about those of y'all. Listen, let me slow this down. The people who have had the benefit of coming to Tea Time with Tara in person, when it's been at my home, when it's been at a location, site, or anything like that, one thing about me is you're not going to take pictures at a private session. You're not going to have your camera out at a private session. Tea Time with Tara is business and Bible basics on air, off the air, all of that, everywhere. Okay, it's business and Bible basics everywhere. But when you have a group gathering who are going to open up, okay, and be vulnerable, and we place vulnerabilities all around that. One thing you will know about me with Tea Time with Terry, no fluff. I'm not doing none of it for the show of it. Okay, if I was, y'all, I would have 9 years of photos and video footage for you to see. Already all over social media. Footage is everybody's business out there. Okay? But because I operate in integrity, but because I know who I am, but because I know there's a bigger purpose. Like, I'm not doing Tea Time with Tara just to elevate me. I'm doing Tea Time with Tara because I wake up daily to change lives. That's what I do. That's who I am. That's who I am, y'all, to the core. I literally wake up daily. I change somebody's life every day, okay? And you can check a track record on that. Talk to the people that are around me if you get that close to me. Talk to my friends. Talk to my family members. I literally wake up daily to change lives. That is who I am. Who are you? Okay? What are your goals for yourself? Right? So even with this vision board, right? You have these vision board parties coming up soon. And you really should, y'all, I'm going to say, you really should do your vision boards in August the year before, not in January of the year that's already begun. Okay? You should do your vision boards in August of the year before so you have time to properly prepare for what you want to walk out at the start of the new year. Okay? So, when you have this vision board, you have all these pictures and things like that. New year, new you, right? New year, new you. Identifying yourself for yourself. Okay. What about these goals now? You have goals just to be cute. You got goals just to be the man. You know, oh, I look like, I sound like something, you know. Why do you have these goals? But moreover, what is it going to take for you to achieve these goals? What is it going to take? So let's break your goals down into tangible steps, okay? So if your goal for your vision board party, by the way, y'all, vision boards, there are vision board parties every year, which should let you know that you're not creating a vision board for your life. You're creating a vision board for the year ahead. What does my year ahead look like? What are my goals for the year ahead? Who am I going to be in this year? What kind of person? How will I be better? Right? Okay. Then how will I break those goals down? Like, what is it gonna take to get to it? Like, I just heard in my head, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Y'all know them commercials still on. So, or how many people does it take to screw in a light bulb? You know, I don't know. What are the tangible goals? Like, what, and by tangible and attainable steps, okay? But by tangible, I mean real things that you can do now. What are the real things that you can do now in order to achieve the life you desire to have ahead in the next year? Okay? And so what are those? Break those down. Okay? Like, me in the next year, I want to have a sponsor for my show so that I can grow my audiences. Not for social media, because I do have a love-hate relationship with social media. So it's not for social media and social media presence, but again, it's to be able to reach people in the world and even near in my community that I don't know. We walk past people every day that we don't know, right? So my goal is to gain sponsorships and expand my reach, right? I'm praying God expand my territory, enlarge my territory. So what does that mean? That means that I have work to do as well as God leads, but I have work to do as well. Like making more shorts on YouTube, because that reaches more audience people, more audiences, or posting more on TikTok strategically. Why? Because that reaches more people in the type of audience that I'm influencing, right? Excuse me. What does that do? That gives me exposure. Okay. That gives me exposure to the opportunity of gaining more sponsors as well, okay? And to change more lives. So break your goals down into tangible and attainable steps. Now, the next thing I wrote here was that the surface doesn't matter if the inside doesn't change. Now, I know I was just talking about don't be on the surface, but let's get into your inner workings, okay? Come a little closer to the screen if you need to on this, okay? Come a little closer to whatever you're listening on, whatever listening device you're on, okay? Change happens from the inside out. It's like an oven work. It's like oven work, I believe, if I'm saying it right, okay? It's not quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now, you can change your mind and make up your mind to something, right? But again, we're not talking about dressing from the outside. We're talking about from the inside. What things in you do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be a better human being for you, right? Because we're not talking about people pleasing. We're not talking about doing it for your parents, your teachers, your friends, your family. No, we're talking about you. We're not talking about that opportunity you really want where they want you to be X, Y, and Z, and you're just not that. So you have, from the inside out. How are you doing? How are you doing? Are you okay? Is your heart okay? Did this year beat you up? Did this year bless you? Like, for real. Did it bless you in the midst of all this turmoil? Are you good? How are you? We don't sit enough with self and examine, how do I feel today? What's on my mind? What, and sometimes too, y'all, like I have a venting journal on my website. If you visit the website, it's a venting journal where it's called Turn It All Around, because you're going to vent about it. You're going to pray about it. You're going to figure out, what lessons came of it, and you're going to give gratitude towards it, right? Because when we have an issue or a problem, we got to do the inner work so that that doesn't poison us. Okay. I'm the same person all around. Like I said, my character and integrity speak for itself. And I'm very, very serious about that. Like I take that very personally, that you experience me authentically, no matter where you experience me, no matter where I am, you're going to get Tara M. Williams. The way you see me show up on here, you will see me show up in other areas of my life. Now, some I might be a little more shy, but it's going to be the same power punch of a woman. Okay. It's going to be the same beautiful soul inside and out, no matter where I am. Right. And so what in you needs to be dealt with? Because I have gone through so many different situations in life to where I should be toxic, or, I don't know, just not the person I am today. Okay. I really shouldn't be the person that I am today, but I am, thank God. Okay. So life could have beat me down, and it definitely tried to. And it did. There's different stories of different years of life, okay? Different stories of different years of life that would try to change me in a negative capacity from who God has called me to be, from who I am internally, right? So what is it gonna take for you to take a negative situation and not internalize it and not become the ugly thing? Okay. What is it gonna take for you to look at the man in the mirror? Now we're going to like the Michael Jackson song, but also to who God has called you to be, because you read his word, you know his word, and you can apply it to your life. Okay. But facing you face off. What is it going to take for you to face you face off and say, I'm a mess. I am a mess. God, I need help cleaning me up. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be hurt anymore. I don't want to be aggressive so much. Okay? What is it going to take for you to do that? Think about that. Think about what it's going to take for you to clean you up on the inside. Add prayer to your life too. Think about what you can add. Add prayer to your life. Talk to God about it. Get a small group of friends around and talk to them about it too. I really want to do this. I really want to be a better person, or I really don't want to be that way anymore. I just realized how terrible I am, and I really don't want to be that way anymore. I can change at least one thing, right? That's an example. Okay. So look yourself in the mirror. Start preparing and thinking about that. New year, new me, better me, happy me, joyful me, loving, kind, faithful, hopeful, encouraging. Okay. Moving from pessimistic to optimistic. Okay. So really think about that, y'all. And I wish I had a longer time, but I don't. Okay. So thank you for joining me today. This has been Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I'm your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. I'm here every Monday, y'all, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have not already, go ahead over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I go live or post a new video. Okay? Don't forget to do your affirmations for the week. I am, I have, I will. Don't forget to think about that food for thought quote. Define yourself for yourself, or be crushed into what other people think about you. That Audre Lorde quote. Okay? And remember to read your word. We read from James chapter 1 today. I read verse 22 to 24, but you really should read all of James if you can, and sit with that this week as well. Determine what kind of person you want to be. Ask God to show you who you are and show up in your own life, y'all. Okay? And if you love this show, you like what you've been hearing, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tune in every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, if you or someone you know would love to be a sponsor, have them send me an email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. And if you just want to donate to the show because you love what we're doing here and you want to get on board with the expansion as well, you can donate via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal at Stalk Your Destiny. I will see you guys back here next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in. Share this video with somebody and have a beautiful week. Until next time.
I'm staying chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground, 'cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, alive, you cheesing, I'm cheddering. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Times getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put some hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual van where my strength get pumped from. So let's go back to the child of God. Standing toe to toe, no hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want out of high. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is asking, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game. so speed like the A train. The thing that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you want to get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chase them.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it up, but I won't lose hope. 'Cause I'm still taking my destiny. I'm still starting my destiny.